Most healthcare is actually affordable. And it's especially affordable if we give ourselves time. More Americans can afford $10 a month over 10 months than can afford $100 today. Definitionally, that is true. We think about insurance plans, what they're really designed for are those infrequent, rare, unpredictable, catastrophic bills. If we said, hey, the only way to buy a home was with cash and the only way to buy a car was with cash, there would be fewer homes sold and fewer cars sold in this country. And so the way that we're able to give people the means of walking through that wall and ensuring that they're able just on their own to get care is we give people time. We as society, give ourselves time to turn infrequent, expensive purchases into affordable things. And so, really what we're doing is we're increasing the number of people who are able to get care today. When healthcare happens earlier, when it happens earlier, when someone picks up a prescription today versus putting it off, value is created. Yeah, every single day for 15 years I worked inside a hospital. I love being part of a place that people would turn to in very personal and private moments of need. Those are the moments that you tend to remember in life. Happy, sad, they're the moments that stick out across, the blurry sands of time. And invariably, every week, every month, there is a headline all about who is paying for care. Is it my employer? Is it me? Is it the government? And it talks about, the price of care. But what we don't talk enough about is how we pay the price. And I felt that was the most pragmatic and practical way to where if you can transform how people feel about their ability to pay for care, you're able to actually get people to the table, get them in a doctor's office, get them into a pharmacy, and ensure that they can actually get care. When you improve the ability of a population to self-pay for care, they get care earlier, they get higher value care. They're actually getting preventative care done. They're getting their labs, they're getting their tests, they're doing therapy, they're being adherent to their prescriptions, they're managing the chronic conditions before they become large, expensive things that fall onto the plan. What happens is folks actually get care. There's no future version of healthcare where either my employer or government can or should be responsible for 100% of my healthcare decisions. If they have 100% responsibility for paying for our care, then it puts them into a position of being able to decide what doctor I can go to for what reasons and circumstances. And I think that's something that most Americans would sort of push back against. And so I think that the future version of healthcare is one where people have more control of their future, where people have not just the responsibility of paying for care, they have the ability to pay for care. When responsibility matches your ability, that's where we thrive as a people. It's when those concepts are out of sort. When I'm given more responsibility than my ability, or when I have more ability than the responsibility I have, when there's a gap between those, that's when negative feelings fill in. That's what festers and breeds frustration and anxiety. And I think that's why healthcare affordability, when we think about it and we read about it, and we hear, the frustration and pain with paying for care, it's that gap. It's that I'm responsible for something, but that responsibility doesn't match my ability.